Welcome back. I'm joined by Championship correspondent Pascal Lemaire to preview Saturday afternoon's match between Derby and Brentford. Let's go start with the home side. Such an important win last time, first win in 8 games against at Wigan.
Yeah, massive win for them. Like you say, first win in 8. They'd been struggling, without the strikers. Darren Bent came back for the game on Good Friday against Watford, and they got a 2-2 draw in that game. I think they were disappointed not to have won that. I mean, Watford went into that, in great form. Their strikers are just firing goals all over the place at the moment. But they did have a man sent off Watford just before half time, so Derby certainly had a chance there. And they then took a 2-1 lead, but they couldn't see it through. Igalo scoring a fantastic goal to make it 2-2, and they'll be disappointed not to have won that game, given that Watford had a man sent off. So quite disappointing, but they responded well. Went to Wigan, who Wigan, we know about their home troubles. They haven't won at home since August, not won at all under Malcolm Mackay. So it wasn't that surprising to see Derby win, but it was quite a tight first half, 0-0 at half time, and then they bring on Chris Martin at half time for his first appearance, I think, in about 2 months. Been out injured. He scores within 5 minutes with a fantastic finish, left foot first time finish, and you just see they've missed him so much, and him being back for them, I think it makes them arguably favourites for the sort of. I think it'd be quite a push for them to get into the top 2 and the automatic promotion places. But if he's back and fit, and if they keep Bent fit for the playoffs as well, I think they're probably favourites for the playoffs, because Martin he's a great striker in this league, and I think just showed with that it is so important for him to be back. And this game against Brentford, they've had a really tough run of games as well, you have to say. This will be their 5th game in 6 against the top 8 sides, the sort of promotion hopeful. So it has been a very tough run for them, and they've got a lovely last 4 fixtures. You look at their last 4, it's Blackpool, who obviously already been relegated, Huddersfield, Millwall and Reading, so all sort of bottom 10 sides that they face in their last 4 fixtures, and you'd probably expect them to get 12 out of 12 from those. So in terms of the top 2, they probably need to win this and their last 4 to break into that top 2, because you look at the likes of Bournemouth, Watford, all those top 4, Bournemouth, Watford, Middlesbrough and Norwich, they all look great at the moment. So I think the top 2 is probably out of reach for Derby, but they certainly will fancy securing a playoff place. And like I say, their running is very nice, and I'd be very surprised if they drop out.
Moving on to Brentford, couldn't win last time out at home, but they did pick up a very low point against Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, massively important that. Obviously, they're now only a point behind Derby and Wolves. They did fall out of the playoffs with that draw, but considering where they were, 2-0 down, that's now the last 2 home games in a row. They played Millwall and Forest. They've been 2-0 down in both and fought back late on with 2 late goals in both games to get a point out of that. So that was very impressive the way they fought back. Jota with that late equaliser, he did really well, to be fair. He's sort of a Spanish winger, quite small. You wouldn't expect him to be the sort of player to get up at the back post and make a brave header like that, in the last minute. But he showed that he really wanted it, and it was a very, very big goal for them. On a Good Friday, they played Fulham, big West London derby, 4 amazing goals in that game. All of them were worthy to win any game, but to have 4 like that all in one game. Stuart Dallas with 2. Jota's was my favourite. He hit it first time, a brilliant curling effort, and they do play some great football, Brentford. It's just 1 defeat in 7 games for them now. And I talked about Derby having a nice run in. I mean, Brentford, I think their last 8 games, the one against Derby was the only one against a sort of promotion rival. And you look at their fixtures coming up as well, and you'd have to say that you'd be surprised if they didn't get in as well. They played Sheffield Wednesday, Bolton, Reading and Wigan in their last 4 games, and Wigan's on the last day of the season, and you'd probably expect Wigan to be relegated by then, so they might not have much to play for. If you played Wigan in your next game, there's more there for them to play for. It might be more difficult, but Derby and Brentford both have nice run-ins, and you'd probably say that at the moment they look arguably the favourites to get the last 2 playoff places.
The big games in the Championship keep on coming. What's your score prediction for this one?
Yeah, I think Chris Martin being back for Derby is so big for them. He's only 1 player out of 11 in the team, but his return is just huge for them, I think. And if obviously he came off the bench against Wigan, if he can start this game, I think Derby might just have too much for Brentford. I'm going to go for a 3-1 win.
Sports, I'm going for a 3-1 Derby win.